Hello and welcome to this video. It's on 8-2, which is solving exponential equations and inequalities. Pretty sure this is a review for those of you in my class, since we did already have one set of homework on this, but it has been a long time since before break, so just a review and some different homework. So in an exponential equation, the variables are exponents, as you can see. The property we're going to use, right, is right here. And that's just the idea that if b to something is equal to b to something else, if the bases match, then all you do is you set the exponents equal to each other, right? So let's take a look at some examples of how to do this. So for this first one, I want to make the bases match 8 and 64. So I ask myself, which one would I rather look at, 64 or 8? I'd rather look at 8, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this 8 alone, 4x plus 2, and I'm going to ask myself, can I rewrite 64 as something with a base of 8 to an exponent? And I can, because 64 is 8 squared. So I'm just going to put equals 8 squared. I didn't change anything mathematically. All I did was make it look different. Now that the bases match, the only way this can be true is if 4x plus 2 equals 2. So I'm just going to solve. 4x, subtract 2 from both sides, right? 4x is equal to 0, or x equals 0. All right, and if you did want to plug it back in, just to check, 8 to the 4 times 0 plus 2 equals 64. You get 8 squared equals 64, and it checks out. Let's take a look at this second one. So for this one, I have 256 and 4. Now, I'm not saying you need to know all the different powers of every number. You should just take out a calculator and try some. I happen to know that 4 to the 4th is 256, but you might do 4 to the 3rd or 4 squared to work your way up there, or start from a higher number, whatever works for you. So for this, I want to make both my bases 4, just because I'd rather work with the smaller number. So I'm going to rewrite 256 as 4 to the 4th. So I'm going to use parentheses. 4 to the 4th, so that's equal to 256. B plus 2 is still there, is equal to 4 to the 2 minus 2b. I didn't do anything mathematically, just changed the way the 256 looked. Now I have to sort of simplify the way this looks to make this just a 4 in the parentheses. So I'm going to multiply this 4 by this b plus 2. I'm going to multiply those two things in order to simplify it. So 4 to the 4b plus 8 is equal to 4 to the 2 minus 2b. All right, those match now. The only way this can be true is if 4b plus 8 is equal to 2 minus 2b. And then we're just going to go ahead and solve for b. So I'm going to add 2b to both sides and subtract 8 from both sides. So I get 6b is equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by 6, and I get b is equal to negative 1. All right, feel pretty good there. Let's keep moving. All right, so here we are. All right, for number 3, I want to make 1/2 and 8 match. So I'm going to ask myself, how can I rewrite one of these in terms of the other? So how can I make this 1/2? What would 8 look like? What would I raise 8 to get to 1/2, right? And let's see if we like doing it that way. So to make 8 go to 1/2, well, I have to raise it to a negative first, right? Because 8 to the negative 1 would be 1/8, right? Then how do I get 8 to go down using exponents? Well, 2 to the third is equal to 8, which means that 8 to the 1/3, the cube root of 8, is equal to 2. So you'd rewrite this as 8 to the negative 3. I'm sorry. 8 to the negative 1/3. And that's going to be equal to 1/2. Right? So you can take a look at it that way. But if that's bothering you, you could also rewrite it in terms of 1/2. What can you do to make this side? What can you do to make this side be 1/2? Well, how do you get from 1/2 to 8? You do 1/2 to the negative 3, because that'll give you 2 to the third, which is 8. So either one is good. Like I said, I have an aversion to fractions, so I'm actually going to go with this one for this problem, because the 1/2 will go away when the bases match. Alright, so I'll get rid of all of this for now. And let's use that. So I'm leaving the 1/2 over here, 4x plus 1. And that's going to be equal to, I'm rewriting 8 to look like 1/2. So that's going to be equal to 1/2, right, to the negative 3, to the negative third power, and all of that to the 2x plus 1. All right, simplify this a little bit, and you get 1/2 to the 4x plus 1 is equal to 1/2 to the negative 3 times both of these, so negative 6x minus 3. Now our bases match, so 4x plus 1 is equal to negative 6x minus 3. So I'm going to add 6x to both sides, and I'm going to get 10x, and subtract 1 is equal to negative 4. And I'm looking at dividing both sides by 10. X is equal to negative 2 fifths. And there you are. All right, for the fourth example, all right, just go down there a little. We have this, so I need to make 2/3 match 27/8 or vice versa. So I think for this one, I'd probably like to make 27/8 look like 2/3, because hopefully that'll help me avoid fractions. So I'm going to write 2/3 and ask myself, how do I make 2/3 into 27/8? How do I make it into that number? The first thing I'm going to have to do is raise it to a negative 1, and that'll make it, right, 3/2. And then what I would do to that, right, is I would raise each of these to the third power, and that's going to get me 27/8. And I guess be careful with equal signs here. None of these are equal. So what this means to me is I take 2/3 and I raise it to negative third power. Right, so there's the negative 3 again. And that will make it into 27/8. So this is a way of rewriting 27/8. So I'm going to do that over here. 2/3 to the 5x plus 1, leaving that one alone, right, is equal to 2/3, I use brackets here, I guess, bracket 2/3 to the negative 3 to the negative third power, because that's the same as 27 over 8, and all of that to the x minus 4. Simplify, 2/3 to the 5x plus 1 is equal to 2/3 multiplying the negative 3 over here, negative 3x plus 12. Now the bases match fully, and I can make them disappear. So 5x plus 1 is equal to negative 3x plus 12. Add 3x to both sides, subtract 1 from both sides, and I get 8x is equal to 11, or after dividing by 8, x is equal to 11 over 8.